At this point, the queers can have Doctor Who because I don't want it. I don't think most people even want it anymore. A lot of people are checked out because, it's another victim of woke ideology. And what we're seeing with so many franchises just absolutely tanking because of all of this going on. And this is happening with Doctor Who. And, we've already seen the wheelchair with rocket launcher on it or rockets on it. We see the trans character, at least one of them. We also see them talking about how the doctor is not male or female, or the doctor can be male or female or both or neither. It's like the gender ideology jumping through hoops, all that stuff and now they've race swapped Isaac Newton. Yeah. By the way, I'm happy to be back, guys. I know I took a bit of a break there on both this channel and the Bible channel. I was going too hard. Didn't give myself time to recover from being sick, also partially due to the fact that I had to go to my grandfather's funeral while I was still recovering. I just couldn't miss it. And so being up and around and trying to be productive and getting stuff done, all that caused me to get sick, caused me not to fully recover from that original sickness. And so at that point, my body was like, you're going to have to rest or you're never going to get over this sickness. So my voice is a little bit off, but I'm a lot better today. So anyway, let's go ahead and continue on this video. We're getting back to things. Come on now. I'm so ready just to get back in the swing of things. All right, this comes to us from Bounding Into Comics, where they said, Doctor Who casting director responds to criticism of race-swapped Isaac Newton. It's sad that we're in a time where people villainize minorities. Yeah, because that's what it is. It's villainizing minorities. It's not people actually caring about accuracy. This is the same thing that is going on with, hold on, I pulled this up from Disparu, but in case I had extra time to show it. But this is like with the Miles Morales thing. It's so funny. Someone made this video. It was a hate tweet, but it was pretty epic. I wanted to show it. I'm seriously considering using it for my outros and my videos. So somebody made this tweet. This is about Invincible. They said this storyline is going to tick off so many annoying people. So I mean, I'm guessing they're talking about us who are, who say Miles Morales is Miles Morales and not Spider-Man. So then this person makes this tweet, made the coolest video edit. I'm obsessed. Chill, bro, or you'll summon her. This is how you guys summon me now.
Miles Morales is Miles Morales.
I love it. This is so good. So anyway, people were replying. They're like, what did she do? Somebody said, drop slurs. Yeah, I do that. Celebrates when bad things happen to LGBT. Now, for the record, I don't celebrate bad things happening to people. I did celebrate a church getting lightning struck. An LGBT church getting lightning struck while nobody was in it and nobody was harmed. This is the narrative that they want to push. She refuses to call Miles Morales Spider-Man because he's Afro-Latino. That's what's hilarious about this is that this just shows they don't have a leg to stand on with our argument here that characters taking over other characters or race swaps, for example, in this case, but race swapping, especially historical figures. But in this case of like Miles Morales, they can't accept the fact. I mean, it's quite simple. Miles Morales is not Spider-Man. Peter Parker is Spider-Man. We really don't give a crap what the race of the person who's taking over is. But Peter Parker is Spider-Man, not because he's white, but because he's Peter Parker, and Peter Parker is Spider-Man. And so no one else can take that from him. And so they got to move the goalposts, right? Instead of just being accepted, because they know how stupid it sounds to try to argue with us when we say Miles Morales is Miles Morales. It has nothing to do with him being Afro-Latino. And that's moving the goalpost, because they don't have a solid argument otherwise, and so they have to call you a racist or a bigot or this or that or the other. So, I mean, that's what's already seeming to be going on in this case. Oh yeah, we're villainizing minorities. Come on now. You know, maybe people just wanted to see an accurate representation of Isaac Newton, you know? It's not about villainizing minorities. It's about accurate representation. Like, imagine if your dad, imagine if your dad or your grandpa or like great grandpa that you knew, say you knew your great grandpa, he died, and they made him, they featured him in a show or made a story about him, and they completely race swap him. I'd be like, that don't look like my great grandpa. What the crap? Like, that's not my great grandpa. So, yeah, I mean, come on. This is just common sense, but you can't, with these kind of wokies, you cannot use common sense and reasoning. They have to villainize you. They have to call you this, that, or the other to try to discredit and invalidate you and, quite frankly, gaslight you. So that's exactly what's going on with this situation. And don't even play like if, you know, we all know if this would have been a race swap of a black person, original like black person, right? And they made that person white, then they would be complaining. So it's the double standard here that is insane. Okay? Come on. All right, let's go ahead and continue. According to Doctor Who casting director Andy Pryor, the backlash to the series' race swapping of real-world historical figure Sir Isaac Newton has nothing to do with historical accuracy or a growing exhaustion with identity politics, but is instead based solely in, you guessed it, viewers' own racist attitudes. Oh, okay. Taking place in Wild Blue Yonder, the second of 3 new Doctor Who holiday specials helmed by returning showrunner Russell T Davies and produced in honor of the series' 60th anniversary, the historical revisionism in question saw the real-world English physicist brought to life by half-Indian The Witcher blood origin actor Nathaniel Curtis. In doing so, portraying him not as the white man he provably was, but rather as someone of an unspecified ethnic descent. Despite his actor's noted heritage, the episode never specifically addressed the background of its race-swapped Newton. And this is the thing with this kind of stuff is, if they wanted to make a brand new character for this guy, or if they wanted to, I don't know, feature somebody with his background, all that kind of stuff, or that he looks like. Here's another thing too, is I'm not even that picky about, somebody has to be the identical race of who they're portraying. I don't give a crap about that. It's about what they look like. Do they look like, do they look like the person they're portraying? Then that's fine. I don't give a crap what their 23andMe results say. I care about them actually being visually accurate to the character. In this case, obviously, that's not the case. So, all right, let's continue. First, broaching the topic after being met with praise from Opie for how well he was able to keep Curtis's appearance a secret, the casting director explained, because it's a brief but important moment, you can get an actor in and out quite quickly with parts like that. That was Russell's idea, actually, Pryor added. We had talked about trying to get Nathaniel in the show at some point, and I think it's a sort of rather cheeky but fun interpretation of Isaac Newton. It's not a historical drama. Let's have some fun with it. I mean, yeah, they just wanted the dude in the show. So it's like, let's try to shoehorn a role for this guy because this guy fits our check boxes of we like this racially ambiguous guy here. Nathaniel was very game. He further recalled he's a fan of the show. He's such a lovely guy and had a great time. Okay, so they couldn't give him a new character. They couldn't. It's like, oh, I got it. Brilliant. Let's go with this. From there, Opie then turned their discussion to how there's been backlash from so-called fans of Doctor Who in regard to these particular castings, that they're too woke, for want of a better word. Subsequently, asking the casting director, you've engaged a bit with this discussion online, but I wondered if you had anything else to add on this response to castings such as these. In turn, Pryor asserted, it's sad that we're in a time where people villainize minorities. See, let's just gaslight the viewers. Let's gaslight the fans, right? That's exactly what they're doing. This sort of chatter, I'm very good at kind of tuning out, he told his host. And I'm also very, very happy to block people on Twitter. I don't really have any time for bigotry at all. See, gaslighting. Oh, let's just call them bigots. Let's just, discredit everything they have to say and call them bigots. Discredit their actual valid problems, valid criticisms. They're just bigots. That's what it is. Clearly, I mean, they'll have to start caring when people start tuning out, but I don't even really think a lot of these productions care even that much for that when they're getting ESG money and stuff like that. They don't need the audience to be tuning in when they're still getting funding from BlackRock. So, yeah. Okay, let's continue. Proceeding to broaden his argument, Pryor continued, it then becomes even more important to give people a voice and for people to be represented. Okay. Especially for young people growing up who might be trans or from any minority. Can we stop with the trans stuff already, please? Especially trans youth. Like, come on, that's messed up. It's child abuse. It is child abuse. Just freaking stop. If an adult is gonna LARP as the other gender, which is impossible, you cannot change your gender. You can't. You just can't. No amount of surgeries, no amount of hormones will change your gender. No, you aren't another gender. You might want to be and you might want to LARP and pretend. If you're an adult, whatever, go for it. But don't even play. Don't even play like, no, you can change your gender. You cannot. This is a mental illness that should not be celebrated. And especially should not be encouraged in youths, in children. Okay? If they can see themselves on screen, then that can be a huge lifeline for some people, or, feeding into narcissism, perhaps. That can make them feel part of the world, which indeed they are. I don't give a crap. Like, I really could not care less about feeling represented. I don't really think of, I don't have like go-to characters I think of that, oh, this character looks like me. This character, like, I can't, and all of my favorite characters don't look like me. It's just, it's like, I don't, that's the thing is whenever you're looking at characters on a screen for validation, I mean, then you've really got some major insecurities, first of all. And secondly, that's just feeding narcissism. If you can't like a character unless they look like you, then something's wrong. Then something is wrong. You should be able to identify and relate with people, even if you like characters. Even so, because like there's a lot of characters I like that are nothing like me, not in look, not in personality or anything, but I just gravitate toward those characters. I just really like those characters. I mean, that's often the case. I'm usually nothing like the characters that I like. But there's something about them that just draws me to them. Like Lara Croft, I'm really not like her. I'm not like classic Lara Croft. Here we go. I got to do this again. I got to talk about her because I always do. I'm not like her. I don't have her body type. I don't have her features. I'm not super tall like her, all that stuff. I don't have her personality. I'm not nearly as cool. I'm not nearly as brave. Yeah, I'm a lot more uh soft spoken and passive than she is. Now, granted, I'm talking about classic Lara Croft. So then when they make reboot Lara Croft, who, you know, in theory, according to the Wokies, I should like her more, right? Because they made her more like me. They made her like my height at 5'6". They made her, they took away like her super curvy physique. She has a more similar body type to me now. She has, you know, she doesn't have like the big, huge, full lips anymore. So she actually looks a lot more like me, than classic Lara does. So by the Wokies definition, I should, and she's got a more passive personality. So it's like, by the Wokies definition, I should be obsessed with this change because I feel seen. But no, that's not the case. I don't play Tomb Raider to play a character that is more like me. I play Tomb Raider as an escape and as the power fantasy of, yes, her. Yeah, I get to vicariously live through this super awesome, beautiful, and strong character. So anyway, let's just continue this before I keep going on my Tomb Raider tangent. Social media is a bit of a dangerous place because I think people get sucked into saying things that I don't know that they truly believe, he questioned. It just becomes a game for them. Unfortunately, real life isn't a game. And I think it's important to stand up for people who are marginalized. Here's the thing. I think that a lot of people like this guy are saying things that it's like, do they believe that? Just like when I showed on my tweet earlier, and they're saying, oh yeah, you won't call Miles Morales Spider-Man because he's Afro-Latino. Do you actually think that, bro? I don't think they actually think that. I don't know. Come on. All right. Prior than declared, growing up as a gay man, of course, I'm as aware as anybody else of how this stuff makes you feel when you see it, how that negativity can affect you. I don't really think anyone should have to go through that. It's an important thing for me, he said. It's an important thing for Russell and the whole Doctor Who team. There are so many ways of telling a story, and the more you can introduce other ideas and other kinds of people, the more exciting it is. In other words, this is the thing with a lot of these directors, with a lot of these people making these things, is they're doing self-inserts, they're vicariously living through whatever property they're continuing, and they're treating it, you know, I want to say, was it the Critical Drinker who really brought this up with She-Hulk, treating it like a therapy session, like, oh, okay, inserting everything that this is how they're getting their validation, right? And so what we see here, and the truth of it is, this is why we're seeing a lot of all of this LGBT stuff, and especially like this trans stuff going on. I don't know. But it's so that the director, it's so that the writers, it's so that the people working on this, so they can feel better about themselves. It's for them. It's not for the fans. It's for them. And that's a big problem when you're taking over a property that has a fan base and you use it for your own gratification instead of for the audience, that this is already an existing fan base. You want to make something for you, make something new for you. But when you're continuing something, you need to respect the fans. It is so important. And let's look at some big successes lately. Godzilla -1. Fantastic, by the way. Absolutely fantastic. This is something that appeals to the fans. I mean, I also think that it's an excellent entry movie for people who aren't familiar with Godzilla, partially due to the fact that the actual people story was the best of any Godzilla. But what I loved about, Godzilla -1, this is something that the fans love because, hey, this is Godzilla. This isn't some Americanized Godzilla that we've been seeing lately, which I still like those movies enough. But I've been saying this for a long time. Like, I just prefer Japanese Godzilla. And in this case, it's just amazing. So good. So there's that. We see the Five Nights at Freddy's movie. Massive success, even though it wasn't a cinematic masterpiece according to a lot of reviews and stuff, and even the people liked it. Wasn't necessarily a cinematic masterpiece that just did something crazy and new and different, but it respected the fans and it gave the fans what they wanted, and for that reason it was a success. Look at Top Gun Maverick, giving the fans what they want. It's like when you give the fans what they want, make the fans happy, and success will follow. So that's important. Let's continue. Let's finish this up. Receiving subsequent praise from Opie regarding how the show has always been forward thinking and progressive in that way. So it's really nice that in 2023, Doctor Who can embody that now more than ever. Pryor ultimately concluded, it's always been a show about people outside the norm from day one, really. So we're just carrying that tradition on in a more modern way. You're just really, what they're actually doing is they're just feeding their own narcissistic need of validation, and that for others, who I don't know. I don't even think it's for others. I think it's for themselves. It's to feed their own egos and to live through this creation and to give themselves the spotlight, but through the characters that they're manipulating in such a way. It's for that, and it's also for performative virtue, right? Because that also is an ego feeding thing. That also is they're also getting narcissistic supply from that, right? Oh, look at me. Look how virtuous I am because I put a character in a wheelchair who can access the TARDIS via a ramp, and now she's got rockets on her wheelchair. This will make the disabled community just feel amazing. And I am just such a great person for including this in my television show. So let's not pretend that that's for anybody but themselves and to feed their ego as well. So anyway, there you have it. Like I said, Doctor Who has just completely been flushed down the toilet. Now, I'm not going to pretend like I'm some massive Doctor Who fan. I liked the 11th Doctor enough and watched some of it and enjoyed it, but that's the extent of it. But we're just seeing this all across the board, and that's one reason why I even started this channel, is to talk about this kind of stuff. But yeah, feel free to weigh in the comments below. Thank you all so much for hanging out with me today. I'm so excited to be back. And hopefully, I'm still going to stay rested. I'm still not going to overdo things so that this sickness does not come back. Anyway, thank you all again for watching. Don't forget to read your Bible today. And you can also check out my Bible channel, Bible Time with Melanie Mack, which I'm also resuming uploads on that again today. So thank you again for watching. I'll catch you next time. And in the meantime, go boom.
Miles Morales is Miles Morales.